Hi guys, it's Aliyah. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be discussing psychic number 2. For those of you who are just barely joining me, what is a psychic number? Psychic number is the day that you're born on. Not the month, not the year, but the day. Okay? So this day is going to represent who you are, your personality, your traits, including challenges. It's how you see yourself, how the world sees you. So if you're since numerology just goes from 1 to 9, all double-digit days are added and reduced to 1 digit. So, for example, if you're born on 11th, 1 plus 1 is a 2. That's a 2 psychic number, okay? So let's get started. So if you're born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th of any month, you have a psychic number 2, okay? So what is psychic number 2? Psychic number 2 is ruled by the moon, okay, which possesses the feminine attributes of the sun. So the moon, so psychic number 2 are typically very sensitive, intuitive people, very kind, very gentle, artistic. They possess, a lot of them are empaths because they're able to, since they're ruled by the moon, and they're able to tap into people's emotions. They have excellent intuition, so a lot of them are empaths. They will make also good psychics as well. But typically number 2 are very creative, artistic, kind, gentle. So there's a lot of fields they could do very well in as far as, you know, professionally they can work in a medical field, they can work as a social worker, they can work also, a lot of artists have number 2 psychic numbers, so because they are multi-talented and they are multi-dimensional people. So the negative side, of course, every number has a negative side. So negative side of number 2 would be oversensitivity, poor self-esteem, not having much confidence, not carrying out their plans and ideas till the end, okay? So this is a number 2 that it's not very evolved. They can have all these, they possess great imagination, and they can have all these plans, all these ideas, but oftentimes they lack the consistency to carry out their plans and ideas till the end. A lot of times they would quit halfway. Now, if you're an evolved number 2, the positive number 2, you know, would make their dreams come true, and they would go after what they want. You know, they could become quite confident and determined and ambitious. As a matter of fact, a lot of 2s are in the show business. For example, Oprah Winfrey is born on the 29th of January. She's a 2, very confident businesswoman, independent. She is a positive 2, I would say. Anthony Robbins, he's born on the 29th, I believe the 29th of February or March, I'm not sure about the month, but I know he's born on the 29th. What does he do? He is a counselor, he's a teacher, he is a life coach, he's here to inspire. So an evolved 2 are highly spiritual and very intuitive, and they use all of that to move forward in any chosen field. They use their spiritual gifts as an advantage, and they're able to excel in any career they choose. So they're really multi-dimensional, multi-talented. So what else I could say about number 2? So the best dates of any month for number 2, of course, are 2nd, 11th, the 20th, and the 29th. Also, they would benefit for the dates that are ruled by the sun. So psychic number 1, which is ruled by the sun, those dates are the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, and the 28th. Also, they would do very well on dates, especially with people that are born on the 7th. 7th is a psychic number that's ruled by Neptune. They would do very well on the 7th, yeah, with people, or on dates that come to a 7th, a 13th, the 22nd, and the 31st. And so yes, these 3 numbers, other than number 2 series, the 1 psychic number, the 4th, and the 7th would be highly lucky for number 2 people. And as far as relationships, whether that it's personal relationships, friendships, family, people typically born on that have a psychic number 2 1, 4, and 7 will be highly compatible. Okay, I hope you follow me so far. So the jewels, lucky jewels. So we have the moonstone. That will be lucky. We have pearls as well. Number 2s could be very lucky wearing pearls and pale shade of green stones. So any pale shade green stone would be good for number 2. The lucky colors, all shades of green. Okay, all shades. And cream color and white are very lucky for number 2. Okay. Now, lucky days of the week. So we have Sunday. Just hold on, I just wrote it down here, making sure. Yes, Sunday, Monday, and Friday are very lucky for number 2, especially if 2, 11, 29th, and what is the other one? 20th fall on these days of the week. Okay, so you can combine them. Let's say if you want to carry out a plan, if you want to ask for that job promotion, you want to ask a favor from somebody, you'll be best to choose the day that is lucky for you, which is Monday, Sunday, and Friday, that happen to these dates to fall on these days, such as the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th, and also numbers such as the 1 and their series, and the 4 and its series, and then the 7th and its series. I hope you're not very confused here, because it's kind of hard to explain just numbers. I should, write it down somewhere for you guys. So yeah. So let's talk now. We're talked about the psychic number 2. Okay. Now let's look at. So for people born on the 2nd, they have the most qualities of a psychic number 2 because they don't have other numbers, the other digits that influence them. So let's look at the compound number or double digit numbers that make up a 2. Okay, so that would be 11, for example. 11th is made of 1, 1. Yeah, these people are typically they have leadership qualities since they're made of 2 1s, and 1s are ruled by the sun, and 1s are typically determined, ambitious people and leaders. So a number 11th is also considered a master number in numerology. Number 11 people are typically highly spiritual, highly intuitive people. A lot of times, unfortunately, number 11s, people born on the 11th, they're not very much awakened. Sometimes they awaken, they have some tower moments, they have dark night of the soul, and they wake up all of a sudden. Sometimes even much later on, as far as, much later on in life, they tap into their spirituality. But overall, whatever number 11 sets their heads to, they'll make it happen. Okay. Number 20th are the number 20th. 20 is actually the judgment card in the tarot. It is also a spiritual number. Sensitive people born on the 20th are highly sensitive. They have to be cautious though, they're not super sensitive, hypersensitive. Other than that, number 20, they're very hardworking people. They're diplomatic, have a strong willpower. They are good people with good morals. And yeah, so I think the only thing is that sometimes they tend to be too sensitive, too emotional, and impressionable. Okay, they tend to be a little bit gullible and easily influenced by others, which they have to be careful. They have to choose their friends carefully. Okay. They need to maintain balance in their lives. That's very, very important, because sometimes they overextend themselves. They're always there for their friends, family, and they overextend themselves. It's very important that people born on the 20th learn to balance their lives, learn to balance themselves. You can give so much to other people. You have to keep some for yourself. Too much of anything can be good for you. You overextend yourself, you'll be off balance. You give too much of yourself, you're too selfless, you're neglecting yourself. So it's all about a balance. So people born on the 20th need to balance out themselves. They need to be careful because they're too sensitive. A lot of them are empaths. They pick up on other people's energies, and they don't know sometimes what are their true feeling, what are their true emotions, or what emotions are they picking up on other people. For example, if they all of a sudden they get in a bad mood, they don't know if it's this is truly how they feel, or that's what they're picking up from other energies around them. So they have to be very careful. They need to shield themselves. Number 29. Number 29 could be a very powerful number. Unfortunately, the number 29, the only downside is that they need to choose their friends carefully, because it seems to me, and this also holds true for number 11. 11 and 29 people, they attract the wrong people. They have to choose their friends carefully, because if not, that could be their downfall. They could have a lot of frenemies, but 29th people are highly successful when they set their minds to it. Highly ambitious, determined. They know how to get what they want, and they go for it. They're highly intuitive. They use their spiritual powers, spiritual gifts to their advantage in whatever chosen field they're in. A lot of 29th people are very successful and leaders. Like I said, Oprah Winfrey just earlier, Anthony Robbins. Another one who's born on the 29th is, for example, Michael Jackson is a great example. Highly successful, dominated in his industry, but he had a lot of hidden enemies. So yeah, even I think there's some kind of, about a year ago, there was also some kind of controversy regarding the Anthony Robbins with Me Too movement. So they have to be careful who they surrounded themselves with. And I'm not, in this video, I'm not talking who's guilty, who's not, and this has nothing to do with it, okay? I'm just talking in general about the number, how sometimes they can be misunderstood. People born on the 29th and 11th, they could be misunderstood. And they don't always have the best people that have their best interest at heart. So they have to be careful, What else I could say about number 29? Yeah, no, so 29 people could make excellent counselors, life coaches. They could also excel in the medical field. They could be, they're here to inspire people, and they're here to really lead by example. They are master souls. That is why people born on the 11th and the 11th are considered master numbers, and 29th is 2 plus 9, and it makes an 11th as well. So both of them typically are older souls, and they're here to inspire people. They're here to teach. They're here to heal people. A lot of them would have healing abilities as well. It doesn't mean that when I talk about a number and the number, what it represents, this indicates, I'm telling you everything the number in, kind of all the potential of that number. Not everyone lives up to their fullest potential, okay? Like I said just a bit earlier, that some people are more evolved, which they're gonna be living on the higher level of that number, on the higher energy. They're going to be vibrating on a higher frequency of that number, whereas people that are less evolved, or they're not awakened, because a lot of them are older souls that are born on the 11th and the 29th. If they're not awakened, they're not in touch with their spirituality, they could be on the lower end of that number, and they can struggle, and they can have a lot of them, they'll be deceived by people closest to them, because they don't choose their surroundings carefully. They don't choose their friends carefully. Okay, they have a lot of frenemies because they tend to be very friendly. Number 2 people in general are very magnetic and very friendly people. They have no problem making friends and attracting people to them. And because they're so easily approachable, and sometimes they don't listen to their intuition, even though they have it, they might attract the wrong people around them. So yeah, I think we covered everything about psychic number 2 for now. So yeah, just remember, you guys, if you meet somebody that's born that has a psychic number 2, a number 1, a number 4, number 7, this person would be very compatible with you. Of course, there are other factors, but we're just talking here about numbers, okay? Now, the incompatible number, I would say avoid number 8. Although number 8 is money, number 8 people are very strong, very willful, they could be, a negative 8 could be a dictator. It could be very strong. It could be very cold. I would say that although that some numerologists say, well, they're compatible, number 2 and number 8 are compatible, as long as number 2 knows their place. because number 8 needs to control, number 8 needs to lead. So a lot of times, especially if a woman is a number 8 and a man is number 2, it's going to be hard to work out. Why? The woman's going to be the dominating one, and she's going to always feel like the one who takes care of everything in the house and takes care of everything around, you know. So, but on the other hand, if it's a man who is an 8 and the female who's a 2, it work out better than the other way around. Let me see what else to avoid. So yeah, the most compatible are the 2 people, the 1 people, the 4 people, and the 7 people. 9 people ruled by Mars could work as well. Although it's not the most compatible, but they could work out because 9 is ruled by Mars. As long as there's compromise, these 2 could make, you know what they call about opposites attract. I think that 9 and 2s will be very much opposite, but yet complement each other. So yeah, I think that's all that comes to mind right now. So I hope you guys liked it. Let me know if it resonated with you, if you happen to be a psychic number 2, or you have a family member or friends a psychic number 2, and that kind of makes sense. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, until next time. And next time I'm going to be doing psychic number 3. Okay, thank you so much. Until next time, guys. Bye.